Hi there guys, my name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of The Matt Brown Show. I'm also a #1 Amazon bestselling author, and I'm also the guy who has built and sold multiple $1 million businesses. Now, over the last 20 years of doing that, I've learned how important it is to get your story out into the market and in front of the decision makers that you're trying to sell your products and services to. It is a difficult thing to do, but if you have a media platform and a partner like The Matt Brown Show, things become a lot easier for you to really get exposure and to get that kind of equity you need out in the marketplace so you can start to sell stuff faster. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what's essentially a digital TV show. Now, this digital TV show is something that you will own, but that I will help you produce. We will also help you get it out into the marketplace and basically get you a minimum of 10,000 to 30,000 views of your digital TV show. And please stick around to the end of this video. It's about 10 minutes long. If you do that, I'm going to give you access to my #1 Amazon best-selling book called Your Inner Game, absolutely free. So how does this all work? Well, it starts with The Matt Brown Show. My podcast or Vodcast, whatever you want to call it, has been running now for the past 7 years. As I mentioned, I'm a #1 Amazon best-selling author of my book, Your Inner Game. I've won numerous awards, top 25 most influential people in technology by CIO Views magazine, and most influential people in business by Fast Company magazine. So the show's had millions of downloads, 400 episodes. It's been #1, baby, in the management and marketing category on iTunes no less than 13 times. It's a lot of times. We also have content syndication deals on Amazon Prime and the Roku streaming TV network. So when we release stuff, it really does go out into the world globally. Who's been on the show? It's a great question. We've had New York Times best-selling authors, billionaires on 6 continents. We've had Navy SEALs. We've had NBA championship coaches. We've had media personalities, influencers, you name it, the who's who of business has been on the show. And in the same way that I've interviewed these guys, I will interview you or representatives from your business and create a digital TV show that's branded as your company. I'm just hosting it. And then this is a way for us to get your story out into the marketplace. And I'm going to explain how we do that right now. So the show is really a global play, right? It's been featured both in local and international media news outlets. So when we release things and we do live shows, we sell live shows out all the time. So it's a very attractive media platform for businesses who are trying to reach other business owners. This is the rub. There's essentially 2 points of value here. The one is about organic reach. So when we release your show on my podcast or on my channels, it really does go out around the world. So when I release anything and we take your show, we put it out on my channels, it goes out around the world. So you can see the audience, roughly 90% of that audience is in North America, Europe, and Africa. And from a targeting perspective, we can target any state, any country, any region, any account or business using targeted paid for media. This is spent on platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, Google, etc. So what you're getting is global organic reach and the ability to target very specific companies or very specific states or cities using targeted media. 70% of my audience are business owners and the C-suite. This is an affluent market that are building things that matter to the world and to their customers. The show has a wide industry audience appeal. So as I mentioned, 70% are C-suite and business owners. And what you're looking at is the share of audience based on industry. So from financial services, information technology, computer, software, insurance, etc., all the way through to retail. You can see how much the show indexes towards business owners and the C-suite. This is the company sizes, so you can see small, medium, and large companies and how the audience that I've built and that you will get access to is distributed across the various industries. So it's very much a small and medium and a large enterprise play. In terms of Africa, the current listenership is right across Africa, but the sweet spot is in South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. These are tech centers within Africa. You can also see the distribution of the audience in Africa by business owner and C-suite. So 91% being business owner and 9% being the C-suite. This is your GCC region, the Middle East, so Saudi Arabia and Dubai and United Arab Emirates, etc. This is South Africa. Obviously, the show started here and has gone international. Massive penetration in South Africa America, right across all the provinces. In the US, we have a lot of customers in the US. So you can see this is really dominated by the tech centers. So Colorado, California, Texas, Washington, etc., New York. And again, an audience right across the states. But as I mentioned, this is my organic reach. If you wanted to target, New York only, or if you wanted to target, Wyoming only, or Massachusetts, for instance, we can do that as well. This is the UK. As you can see, my company won Africa's Best Tech Startup, spent a lot of time in London at London Tech Week with Amazon Prime. And as you can see, the audience is right across the UK, but specifically in London and the Southeast. And then in Europe, this is what the audience looks like. So again, right across Europe, hot markets are Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Poland, etc. But really, this is the headline of the story. There's essentially three things for you to consider. The first thing is the story itself, which is a digital vodcast series. The second thing are elective or optional extras. So these are where you can choose to boost your exposure or to advertise specific offers and promotions. This is really the hero of the story. There's two things to consider. One is a limited series, which is a once-off investment, or there's a retainer where you do content with me every single month. In terms of the limited series, it is once off. It comprises of 3 episodes of up to around about 20 minutes. These episodes are branded as your company, so your logo is featured on there, and I'll show you what real-world examples look like. And then once we have recorded the interviews, we then take your main Talking Heads interview and we recycle that into social media clips. And once that's all been produced, we then broadcast that live across 30 different channels. So you get the options to choose which live stream channels you'd like to use. These can be YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitch, TikTok, whatever the case might be. And then from a retainer perspective, it's pretty much 1 episode per month. You get 2 social media clips. And then we've added additional extras. These are media buying boosters where you can amplify and get an additional 10,000 views of your content every single month. Or we can do direct marketing, we can do direct marketing to 2,500 targeted decision makers. Or we can also then add breakaway video ads, and I'm going to explain how that works. But as you can see, this is super affordable. Prices start from $3,500 for a once-off series. And then from a retainer, it's $2,500 per month, but you get a lot more value in the retained space. So this is what your amplification options look like. The first option is your media buying booster. How this works is you tell me how many views you want. Do you want 10, 20, or 30,000 views? We simply take your content, load it up on the relevant platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and then we target decision makers with paid for media. The second option is direct email marketing. This is where we take your series and we send it via email to targeted decision makers using a compliant data engine that my company owns. This is really exciting. This is, again, elective. These are promotional offers. So if you imagine that I'm interviewing you as an example, what will happen is we'll take a quick break, and then what we'll play is a 30-second pre-produced video ad. And this is where we're pushing a specific offer or a call to action. So download my white paper, sign up for our online training course, book a demo, whatever the case might be. So we pre-produce it and then we play it live in the show. We can play any kind of visual asset. It really is a show. Highly recommend considering including these as part of your campaign. So this is the good news. It's really quick to do. So there's 3 phases here: plan, produce, deploy. The first phase rather is planning. So it's about agreeing the story and compelling talking points. We don't want to script things. We just want to keep it authentic, but we want to know what we want to talk about. Phase 2 is about production. This is where we record the interviews and then recycle the content into snackable content pieces. And so you get a lot of content as part of this. And then once you approve everything, we then deploy it and we guarantee a minimum of 10 to 30,000 views. And this is the guarantee. If at the end of your campaign, we do not get you a minimum of 10,000 views, we'll refund 100% of your fee. And this is irrespective, or this guarantee applies even if you don't buy a media booster. So these are some real world examples. This is Ice Tech. This is a Microsoft partner. What they wanted to do was get their story out to the emerging markets, specifically the public sector. We did a once-off interview, which you can see on the left. There's myself and Greg Morris, branded as an Ice Tech show. We did the interview, and from the interview, we take out a sound bite and we put a photo of you. In this case, it's Greg Morris. What that basically looks like is a digital radio ad. So you can see there's a headline at the top and a graphic equalizer that's moving up and down. They had just under 30,000 views, 450 comments, which is a lot of engagement, and 1,700 watch time hours from 78 countries. Mix Telematics is a fleet telematics firm based out in the UK. On the left, again, you can see the Talking Heads show, and then on the right, the recycled content bits. This is a really successful campaign for them. It was a 3-part branded series called The Future of Fleet Connectivity. They had just under 70,000 views, 332 comments, 6,000 watch time hours from 6 countries. So we targeted very specific countries for them. And then in terms of IBM, we launched the IBM Power 10 series, and we created a series called Journey to the Cloud. And on the left, you can see they actually took the series and put it on their website, which is a really good idea. So once you produce all this content, you put it on your website, you put it into your email marketing, you use it as part of your sales prospecting, you use it in terms of your LinkedIn marketing or Facebook marketing or YouTube marketing, wherever your channels exist, or even TikTok as an example. And then they had just under 250,000 impressions, 18,000 views, 550 odd clicks, and even leads, so 75 leads. So that is the story around the Matt Brown Show. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. As I promised you right up front, I want to give you a copy of my #1 Amazon best-selling book, You're in a Game, absolutely free right now today. And to get your hands on a copy, head on over to mattbrownshow.com, hit the Contact Us button, and fill out the form that you'll see there, and I will send you a copy of my book. Also, if you'd like more information on the Matt Brown Show, or if you'd like to get your story told on this amazing media platform, why don't you head on over to mattbrownshow.com, hit the Contact Us button, and get in touch with me or book a meeting with me directly from my website. I would love to meet you and talk about your story and how we can get your story out into the world.